You too. What'd you do today, Amp? Dun, dun, dun.
Just studying a little.
Okay. Sorry. Amp, can you hear me now?
Yes,
Okay. What'd you do today, Amp?
I was studying a little, taking classes here in Berlin.
Okay. Good. Definitely. And what'd you have for lunch?
For lunch, I had today. What had? I don't remember what we had for lunch. It was yeah, it was meat in the morning, and now the dinner was chicken
Okay. We could say beef
beef.
because chicken is technically meat. Especially in English, we would consider chicken meat. So we'd be confused if you just said meat. 'Cause you'd be like, well, what kind of meat?
Okay, okay,
Okay.
beef in the morning. Yes.
Nice. Jair, welcome to class. Jair, how's it going?
I am pretty good, thanks.
Okay, cool. What have you done since I saw you last?
Uh, Excuse me, could you repeat?
Yeah, what have you done since I saw you last?
Okay, I was working at the company and I have just arrived home now.
Okay, cool. Well, welcome back home, and good to see
Okay,
you again.
okay, thanks.
David, welcome to class. David, how's it going?
Hi Joshua, everything is good, thank you.
Nice, good to see you again.
Yes, good to see you.
David, what are your plans for tomorrow?
Oh well, man, tomorrow is Thursday, so I think that I class in the morning, so I have to present present a paper. I'm going to do the paper maybe a little bit later, and then I don't have idea. So
Okay,
no,
nice.
I don't know yet.
What's the paper on?
Well, the paper is, let me see, it's about international relationship and agreements, more or less.
Okay, nice. And Ana Carolina, welcome to class. How's
Thank you, Joshua. I'm fine. And
Okay,
you?
good to hear. I'm doing really well. Thank you for asking. Um, and Ana Carolina, what have you done since I saw you last?
I've been studying English a lot and I worked out a bit.
Okay,
Just
nice. And I think that's everybody. Let's get started. Let's start with Heidi. Can you read the title and the question?
Okay, dropping a mountain. What if a huge mountain ordinarily say had a bottom inch of its base disappear? What would happen from the impact of the mountain falling in 1 inch? What about 1 foot? What if the mountain's base were raised to the present height of the summit, and then the four things were allowed to drop to the earth?
Good. Good question. Good reading. The beginning, what if a huge mountain, Denali, say? Can you repeat that part?
Huh? What if the huge mountain, Denali, say had?
Good. Yeah. Nicely done. So just the intonation is a little bit tricky there. Any questions about this question?
It's huge mountain, so if only 1 inch it drops, the apparently it doesn't change.
Yeah, it wouldn't change much. Okay,
For
any
example, Everest, it has over 8,000 meters. So if it lose 1 inch, but from outside it didn't change. It doesn't change.
Yeah. It's kind of saying you would raise it an inch and then drop it.
Mm.
Yeah. But good. Any other questions here? Or comments? Alright. David, what do you think would happen if the mountain was raised an inch and then dropped onto the earth? What would happen?
Excuse me, Joshua. What will happen if what?
If a mountain
Uh-huh.
was raised an inch into the air and then dropped onto the earth. So it went up an inch and then dropped an inch. What would happen?
No, I don't understand the words that you are saying. Dropping in what?
So if it fell, so if it raised, so if it
Raise
was
raise to the sky and fell to the land.
uh-huh.
What will happen with a mountain?
Yeah.
Will
But just
be
an inch.
like mm, I don't know the word, but will be like a big piece of a rock that will crash against the earth
Yeah.
and will cause a lot of destruction.
Okay.
Mhm.
Good. And so good. Let's start the reading. And let's have Carvalho. Can you read the first part and the comic?
Okay, the 1 inch gap would take about 17 milliseconds to close. Don't stick your hand in. Okay, the device has levitated the mountain, and don't stick your hand there. Why?
Good. Milliseconds.
Milliseconds.
And levitated.
Levitated.
Uh-huh. So yeah, it'd close pretty quickly after and let's go on and have Ana Carolina. Can you read the next part?
The impact could trigger an earthquake. Denali, also known as Mount McKinley, is a mountain in Alaska that sits just to the south of a major fault line. This fault is active, and we know that drilling can trigger earthquakes. Earthquakes can happen at any time, so there's always a chance that dropping a mountain any distance could trigger one. So, could kick in a tree. The only way to find out for sure would be to try it.
Good. And can you read the citation?
Oh my gosh, where?
So it's right next to 4. Can you read the citation?
This article has an awful lot of citations.
Good. And so these other ones are actually real citations. Good. Can you repeat trigger?
So, trigger.
Good. Perfect. Other than that, you did a really good job with your pronunciation. Any questions here? Does anybody have any questions? Okay. Ana Carolina, can you summarize your paragraph? Can you summarize?
Okay. If it happened, then we would have an earthquake as a consequence of it.
Yeah, we could. have
We
an earthquake as
could,
a mountain.
we could. Sorry, I said
But he
could.
also, yeah, that's okay. But he's saying that, yeah, anything can kind of cause an earthquake. So, you're
Yes,
not really sure.
even if you kick a tree,
Yeah.
and the only way to know is to try.
Yeah. Amp, can you read the next part?
Assuming it didn't trigger an earthquake, the impact wouldn't be all that dramatic. If you were standing on the mountain when it happened, you'd definitely feel a jolt, but it probably wouldn't even be enough to knock you down.
And can you read the comic?
Did you feel the earth move? Yeah, but not very much.
Good. Good pronunciation. Yeah, I don't think, I guess, can you see that? Maybe not.
Which one?
Okay, never mind. So when I put my mouse over the comic, I guess I can see something, but you can't. So
No, I
it says,
can.
I guess I was expecting, I don't know what. But no, it was fine. And that's it. Okay. Any questions on this part? Okay. And let's have Jair. Can you read the next part?
When the mountain hit the ground, the rock under it would be damaged, but only a little. The granite base is strong enough to hold up under the tremendous resting weight of a mountain. The shock wave from dropping it an inch doesn't add too much pressure on top of that, and the rock would survive with a little minor cracking.
Nice. Okay. And I wonder, can you read? Oh man. I don't know why I can't get that. Okay. Can you read the citation? Can you see that citation?
Yes.
So can you read it aloud?
Yes. Okay. The rock was holding up a mountain when you got there.
Good. So, yeah, the granite base is strong enough to hold up under the tremendous weight, or the tremendous resting weight of a mountain. And, the rock was holding up a mountain when you got there. So just a small joke. Okay, and some words, damaged. Can you repeat damaged?
Damage.
Damaged.
Damaged.
Granite.
Granite.
Dropping.
Dropping.
Minor.
Minor.
Good. Okay. Does anybody have any questions here?
Yeah, Joshua, I have one question because I am lost. What is the purpose of the experiment? Because I don't know, I don't get it.
So, it's asking what would happen if you lifted up a mountain and dropped it.
From what height?
From an inch?
From just
From
an
about
inch.
a foot? Well, the first one's an inch, then it's a foot, and then it's the whole height of the mountain. Okay?
Okay, I see. Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay. Heidi, can you read the next paragraph?
When people nearby would definitely feel the impact and probably hear it. The sound would likely resemble the crack of the lightning strike. If you were standing near the mountain, fading into the long, deep, rumble. the vibration will be equivalent to that of the 3.5 magnitude earthquake. At worst, it would knock a few pictures off the wall if you happen to be living next to the mountain. Frankly, I'd be more worried about debris flying out of the gap.
Good. I wish I could get these citations better. Heidi, can you read the citation?
Citation where?
Can you see this?
Yeah.
Can you read it?
If your magical mountain cutter put out in the space where the rock used to be, you should avoid standing near the crack when it falls. The air will come jetting out from the closing crack, spraying rocks and dust at speeds approaching, or even thanks to some fun heat-related effect exceeding Mach 1.
Yeah, Mach 1.
Mach 1, okay.
Yeah, Mach 1.
Mach 1, yes.
And
The speed of sound.
yep, exactly. So approaching Mach 1. All right. What was the other one? Equivalent. Can you repeat equivalent?
Equivalent.
Yeah, equivalent. Okay, and does anybody have any questions here? Okay, Heidi, can you paraphrase, or maybe David, can you paraphrase this really quickly? What's happening here?
Okay, Joshua. Well, it's something that is very scientific, but the test is more or less saying that if you are very close to the crash, you will feel the impact because, well, there is a big crash. Yes, the crack of a lightning strike.
Yeah.
Yes, will be like a small earthquake. Uh-huh.
Absolutely. Okay. Good.
I disagree with that. A magnitude of 3.5 is very mild for us. We experience almost every week 3 or 4, sometimes 5, but still quiet for us.
Yeah. So they're saying it's not a big deal.
Look a few pictures of the world. No, I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah, I think he's saying at worst. It's like maybe, but probably not.
It's only 3.5 magnitude. It's very mild.
So very, very small. For sure. And then, David, can you read the comic?
Sure. It's very long. What if we drop it from higher up?
And then this next part?
Oh, you again? Okay. Dropping from a height of 1 foot wouldn't be all that different.
Good. And the comic one more time, David.
Sure. Can you hold it up for a moment? I think I see some diamond ore.
Yeah. And Carvalho, can you read this next part?
Okay. The mountain would hit the ground at 2.5 meters per second, or ruggedly walking speed. Shock wave from that impact would be in the range of 50 megapascals of pressure, which granite can handle without too much trouble.
Good. Okay, let's look at meters.
Meters,
Roughly,
roughly,
and megapascals.
megapascals.
Nice. And can you read the citation?
Yes. You can calculate the peak pressure of the compressive strain wave in the rock using the Joukowski's equation, which says that the peak pressure of the compressive wave in a material is material's density times speed at impact times the speed of sound in the material. This equation is normally used in fluid mechanics, but it works fine here too.
Nice, really good pronunciation. Joukowsky equation, pressure. The only thing I think was compressive. Compressive.
Compressive.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, really well done. And perfect. So let's look at these. I think that's good. And height. Height. If that makes sense. And Ana Carolina, can you read the comic?
What if it dropped it from higher up?
And the next part? And the next comic.
Okay, let's jump straight to the end of John Clark's question. Crap! There's a park ranger coming this way. Quick, drop it. Maybe they won't notice.
Good. Okay, what's happening in this comic, Ana Carolina?
Well, someone is saying, oh, then there is.
Sorry?
Crappy is like a damned, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So,
Someone is saying, is complaining that that there is a teacher. Could you clarify the meaning of park range?
park
Oh
ranger.
my gosh, a lot of mountains, maybe.
So a ranger is like an officer to some extent, but we'd have them in national parks. So they are the people who maintain order in a park. Would be a park ranger. Does that make sense?
Oh, yes. And so those people are coming, and the other person said, drop it quickly. Maybe they won't notice it, but of course they will.
Yeah, of course they would. There is another text that you guys can't see. Actually, I can't see it either right now. Which says, what? This mountain? It was hovering several miles over the earth when we got here. So, just another little joke. This mountain was hovering several miles over the earth when we got here. But good. And does anybody have any questions about this comic or the comic before? Okay. And yeah, Ana Carolina, one more part. Can you read this part as well?
So, after falling from something, height, teacher. So,
Height.
okay.
From summit height?
Height to base height, about 5 kilometers. The mountain would be moving at roughly the speed of sound.
Good. And good correction with kilometers. Kilometers.
I mispronounced, teacher. I didn't.
You
I
did a good job
didn't.
with the correction.
Kilometers.
And Amp, can you read the next part?
The last two impacts were pretty minor. This one wouldn't be. The jolt to the ground would be as violent as in a magnitude 7 earthquake. There wouldn't exactly be a crater, but the mountain would definitely not be shaped like it used to be. The pressure from the impact would be high enough to produce some unusual geologic structures. If you put a lump of coal under the meteor, the impact would be enough to convert it to a diamond and, unfortunately, smash it to bits.
Good. Crater.
Uh, Crater.
Good. And can you repeat height?
High.
Height.
High.
Height.
Height.
Good. And can you read this citation?
In addition, there is a good chance that a shock this large will release some existing seismic energy.
Good.
See, U.S.
That's fine.
Congress. Okay.
Seismic. Seismic.
Seismic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. And does anybody have any questions here? Okay, maybe Jair, can you explain what's happening in this paragraph? Jair?
Okay, just a minute. Yes, they are saying that the last two experience maybe should produce a minor earthquake, but the new experiment should be more violent, and maybe they should, yeah, of course, they should kill many people or animals around that place, maybe, because the pressure from the impact would be higher enough, okay,
Yeah.
to maybe change the geological structure.
Structures. Can you repeat structures?
Structures.
Nice. Good. Yeah, exactly. And can you read the next part?
Yes, the good news is that the last time a magnitude 7 earthquake hit Denial, no one was killed. Let's just hope nobody is on the mountain itself when we do this.
Good. Denali.
Denali.
Good. Perfect. And really nicely done, Mick. Jair,
Excuse me?
can you read the comic as well?
Yes, what if we dropped it from higher up?
Good. And Heidi, can you read this next part?
Mm-hmm. Okay, last one. We need to lift the mountain out of the atmosphere, out past the orbit of the GPS satellite, to the very outer limit of the Earth's gravity well. Then we let go.
Good. You did a really nice job. Maybe the Earth's gravity well?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just...
Well.
Yeah. The only thing I'd notice maybe the intonation between the words, but you did a really great job. Okay. Any questions here? Okay. And so I believe this white is the Earth, and this white is the mountain, if that makes sense. All right, David, can you read this next part?
Okay, Joshua. It would hit Alaska at 10 kilometers per second. The last frontier would not fare well. A 50-mile wide crater, or just crater, would have obliterated Denali National Park. Anchorage will be buried under 3 meters of gravel. The shaking combined with the debris falling into the ocean will cause tsunamis across the Pacific. Across North America, the ground would tremble, a wind would sweep in from the northwest, the sky would darken.
Good. You did a really good job. 10 kilometers per second.
10 kilometers per second.
Mm-hmm. And crater.
Crater.
And debris.
Debris. Debris. Mhm. Mm. Joshua, are you there? No, I don't think so.
Okay. Can you guys hear me? Sorry.
Yes, I can see.
Okay. Okay. Sorry about that.
Mm-mm.
The last frontier. Does anybody know what it is?
The atmosphere?
Last actually, so the last frontier, which is pretty much just saying Alaska. Does that make sense?
Oh.
Okay. Hopefully that makes sense. Audie, how's it going?
Everything good. Thank you, teacher.
Okay. And Audie, we're talking about dropping a mountain from really large heights. Okay.
Okay.
And I think we're with Carvalho. Can you read the next part?
Yes, teacher. It's from The Last Frontier. I don't
No,
think.
from 1815.
Okay. In 1815, Mountain Tambora erupted in the largest volcanic event in recorded history. The resulting I'm sorry.
I lost you a little bit. Can you repeat it from here?
Erupted in the largest volcanic event in recorded history.
Keep going.
I'm sorry, teacher, I didn't hear you.
Okay. Yeah, good. Keep going.
Okay. The resulting global view of aerosols made 1816 the year without a summer. Snow fell in Massachusetts in June. In June, ice formed on rivers in Pennsylvania in August, and frost killed most of the spring crops. The cooling effects lingered for several years.
Okay. Good. A couple things erupted.
Interrupted.
Erupted. sorry, erupted. Erupted.
Erupted.
Yeah. If you look in the chat box too, you can see the words that we'll go over. Can you see the chat box, Carvalho?
Yes.
Okay. What I'm writing, you can see what I'm writing?
Yes.
Okay. Then largest.
Largest.
Veil.
Veil.
Aerosols.
Aerosols.
June.
June.
Lingered.
Lingered.
Lingered. Good.
Lingered.
Good. And so, does anybody have any questions on this page? On this paragraph? Okay. So, virtually it's saying in Massachusetts, places that are really hot in the summer had snow and ice, and a lot of the crops were killed. So, yeah, that's it. And let's have Ana Carolina. Can you read the next paragraph?
Starting from where? Okay. The Alaska impact would be far worse. Over the next few months, the skies around the globe fill with dust. Summer is cancelled and winter arrives. Global temperatures would drop by 5 to 20 degrees Celsius and stay that way for a year or more.
Nice. Really great pronunciation of temperatures. Cancelled. Really, really good pronunciation. That sounded great, Ana Carolina. Okay. And any questions here? Okay. And Amp, can you read the next paragraph?
On the plus side, we would not be engulfed in a global firestorm when the Chicxulub
Chicxulub, I don't know.
comet hit the Yucatan Peninsula 65 million years ago. It blasted molten debris into space. This debris fell back to Earth around the world, hitting the atmosphere and igniting global firestorms. These maybe played a role in the mass extinction.
Yeah. And can you read the citation?
I don't have a citation for this, but come on, it's a global firestorm. Can you really imagine that every species made it through unscathed?
Good. What's that citation say?
That well, it's nothing important to say, but you have to remark that it's a global firestorm.
Well, yeah. So I don't have a citation for this. What's that mean? I don't have a citation for this. Amp?
Yeah, that it's that they have no something that need to be explained.
He doesn't have like a legitimate source for this information. So a citation would be a link to a legitimate source.
Yeah.
He's saying there's no legitimate link, but come on, guys, it's a global firestorm. You know, at least some of the species died out. So unscathed, so would be unharmed. So can you imagine that every species made it unharmed? And Ana Carolina, if you want, go ahead and take a crack at your citation.
Thank you. Covey, C.S. Thompson, P. Weisman, And Amy McCracken, global climatic effects of atmospheric dust from an asteroid or comet impact on Earth. Global and Planetary Change 9, number from 3 to 4, 1994, 263 to 273.
Yeah. Climatic.
At least one difficult word. Climatic. Thank you.
Yeah. Good. Okay. And so yeah, Audie, what's happening in this paragraph?
Okay. On this plus side, we would not be
Well,
engulfed. Hmm?
you did so Amp just read this, but can you explain what's happening in your own words? Can you paraphrase it?
What is engulfed? I don't know how to pronounce
Engulfed, it's covered.
engulfed.
So like completely covered.
Okay. So, in this paragraph says that a comet hit in the Yucatan Peninsula 65 million ago. It is like a global firestorm that is covered around them with fire, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's blasted and melted into space. I don't understand blasted melted. I mean, it is. What is? I don't know.
What word? Blasted?
Melted, molten, blasted, molten.
Yeah. So blasted, it's like shot.
Mhm.
But shot molten, which is like melted rock, so really hot melted rock. Debris is like pieces or bits of something that has been destroyed. Does that make sense, Audie?
Yeah, yeah.
So it shot or sent molten rock particles into space and around the world. And so that probably had something to do with the extinctions of species that at that time. All right,
Okay.
and all right, I guess we're with Jair. Can you read the next paragraph?
Okay. However, our mountain would care only about 10% of the energy of the Chicxulub impactor, which means that it wouldn't be capable of initiating global firestorms. The firestorms would, in fact, only cover some of North America, so that's a relief.
Nice. Igniting.
Igniting.
Okay, good. So what's happening here, Jair?
I think they are explaining that our mountain, for instance, it wouldn't igniting a global firestorm. It would just reach part of North America. So that's a relief for someone that doesn't live in this place.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like me,
Yeah.
for instance.
Yeah, for sure. You'd be sitting pretty, although you'd probably be pretty cold.
Yes, but I think the world will feel the impact because there should be many changes about the climate around the world, so everybody
For
will
sure.
be affected.
Definitely. Okay. Yeah. And Heidi, can you read this next part?
Mhm. The the northern hemisphere would be covered in ice, but our species would probably manage to live through. Civilization, on the other hand, might well collapse. A total collapse of modern civilization would be a serious blow to the already sluggish economy. And the economic damage could almost to $80 trillion per year, the total value of all human goods and services. All in all, it would have serious implications for the upcoming elections. Okay.
Good. Good correction with species. Maybe economic.
Economic, not economic, economic.
Economic.
Not
So, a serious blow to the already sluggish economy and the economic damage. But yeah, so what's happening here, David? Can you explain?
Yes, yes, sure, Joshua. Well, it's like black humor or something like that. Well, it says that some part of the North Hemisphere will be engulfed, yes, by ice, and well, basically will be a big collapse and there's a lot of destruction for the human race, and the cost will be astronomically big, and that will affect the next election.
Yeah, exactly. So he's being a little bit facetious here. He's being a little bit tongue-in-cheek. So it'll be a serious blow to the already sluggish economy. You know, we wouldn't really we wouldn't be worrying about the economy at the time. But good. Or the elections. Exactly, David. Good job. And Carvalho, can you read the next paragraph?
Yes, and that's that. We've dropped the mountain from as high as it can be dropped, and I hope John Clark is proud of the resulting devastation. Thanks for reading, and what if you dropped it from higher up?
Good. Can you repeat dropped? Dropped?
Dropped.
Good. Dropped. Perfect. And David, can you read this next part?
Yeah, Joshua. No, that doesn't actually make sense. The Earth gravitational pull doesn't.
Jair, can you read the comic?
Yes. What if we dropped it from higher up?
Good. And Ana Carolina, can you read the next part, the comic, and the next part?
Dropping it from higher up won't do anything. There won't be enough force pulling it towards there. Like, what if we dropped it from higher up? Okay, fine, you win. We'll try it. Nice.
And yeah, maybe this comic too, Ana Carolina.
Maybe give it a push. Beep.
Yeah. And
Netherlands.
oh wow, that's a joke from another. Huh. Interesting. From another comic that he's written, The New Netherlands. I think yeah, he's saying it'd just be total destruction. Is more or less what would happen. Okay, sorry. Yeah, that's just another joke from another comic that he did. Does anybody have any questions here? Okay. We are just close to out of time, so let's have Amp. If you could ask one of these questions, what would you ask?
Which questions? The first one?
So like a question mountain from a foot. So like this. What, if you could ask a question like this, what would your question be?
Related to the article?
Not related to this article. You could ask any what-if question. So you have a what-if question to ask.
Okay. What if a satellite drop to the Earth?
Okay. Okay, good. So what if a satellite dropped to the Earth? All right. What about you, Jair? You can ask anything kind of vaguely physics related. What would you ask, Jair?
If we raise a truck in an airplane, for instance, and you drop it 2,000 kilometers, what would happen with the impact into the ground?
Okay, the impact to the ground. I would imagine that truck would be destroyed. All right, and so remember, we don't have to do dropping things. So we could do something like, if you wanted to anchor an airplane to the ground so it wouldn't be able to take off, what would the rope have to be made out of? Stuff like that. Heidi, could you think of a question? What would your question be?
I'm sorry, noisy person came back. So I need to leave.
Oh, okay, no worries. We're actually just about out of time. David, what would your question be? David? Okay, Carvalho, what about you? What would your story be?
Can you repeat, teacher?
Yeah, so if you could make a question like this.
If a current phone number and say, "God bless you," what are the chances that person who answers just sneeze? Teacher, what sneezed means?
It's like, achoo!
Okay.
Yeah. And so, yeah, so any sort of physics-related question, what would you ask, Carvalho?
Physical questions?
Yeah, like a physics-related question. Like, how quickly could you drain the ocean? Anything like that.
Okay. I don't have something in mind to ask.
Okay, yeah, it's not a problem. We actually are just about out of time. Actually, maybe Ana Carolina, a chance. What would your question be? If you could think of a question.
What if a huge flying saucer turned up in New York?
Showed up in New York?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. That would be an interesting one. All right, good. And so thanks again for coming in, guys. Hopefully I'll see you again soon. Carvalho, nice to meet you. Jair, nice to see you again. Ana Carolina and Amp, great to see you guys as well.
Nice to meet you, teacher.
And teacher, take care. See ya. Bye.
Yeah.